Guess I'll start by saying congratulations to Wisconsin. Knew what they were when they came into this football game. Talked about it this week at length, that they were a very solid football team that would make you, that would make you beat them. Fundamentally sound. Going to have to get loose and beat them over the top some, beat them with our wide receivers, protect the quarterback, run the football, get off the field, stop the run, do all the different things that you have to do to win a football game. And the bottom line is we did not do those things. The game was close game. It's a close game, and all of a sudden we're moving, and we sort of got some adrenaline. It's 13-6, and then the tackle, which was a great tackle, fumble recovery, and he housed it. All of a sudden turns it from 13-6 to 20-6. Got to get off the field on 3rd and long. I don't think we pressured the quarterback as well as we had. Thought we stopped the run on defense. Offensively, got to protect the quarterback. Can't take sacks, can't throw interceptions. Can't win a football game going basically five turnovers to basically one. You got to call Jake Hartberger's situation where the ball snapped high and he's got to fall on it like a turnover. So you're not going to win a football game like that. So when you look at it, we have to recollect ourselves. Our destiny's still in our own hands, just like the Nebraska situation last year when we lost. We end up playing all the people that we need to play to get in that championship game, which is the Big Ten championship game. So people have been saying a lot of good things about us lately, and now we'll take some shots. And I think that that's usually the case in these things, and we got to regroup ourselves. And like I tell our players, it can always get worse. So better pick ourselves up and get ready to go and play Indiana, and that's the nature of it. So I'll take some questions.
What's up, Coach? How you doing?
Good.
You talked about that third quarter play, that fumble recovery and return. What can you learn from a play like that moving forward? From the team, it seemed like they, never recovered. What can you learn moving forward from that play?
Well, I think that, first of all, I thought we came out second half and, we were sort of energized. We were moving the football a little bit. Boom, that happens. And, we got to recollect ourselves. I mean, I've said all along we're still developing an identity, who we are. Sadly, it went in a different direction today. But that's when we find out who our leaders are. When things aren't, we're going to be defined by how we handle our problems. I don't think there's any question about that. So we'll find out who those people are that step up. You got to keep playing hard. I mean, really, they made some plays in 3rd down, but the reality is, they get the ball and they have one drive in the second half. The rest of them sort of points were handed to them. But on the flip side of things, you got to be able to move the ball. You can't win a football game usually scoring 2 field goals. That's the nature of it. Nor can you win it if you turn the ball over in the red zone. Either way, going or coming. And those things happened on both sides, in both areas. I think you have to congratulate Hornibrook. I thought he played very, very well. For a guy, his first time out playing as a starter, big game. Put the ball on the money. He made some great throws, and they made some great catches. Some of them were covered guys, and other guys, we were in a coverage that we were pressuring the quarterback and didn't get home. So it's all inclusive. You can almost look at it, of these statistics, and you can start to read them and say, well, there's why they didn't win. There's why they didn't win. Possession time, turnovers, running the football, sacks, 3rd down conversions, combined with 4th down conversions. It's all right there. That's why you don't win a football game.
Mark, on the other side, your own quarterback, Tyler O'Connor, did he just have trouble finding a rhythm, or what was off about him today?
Well, I think that it's hard to say because there's a lot of situations in the game, so you're sort of trying to remember those situations as you're standing up here. But I think a combination of pressure by them and being behind the chains, combination of good man-to-man coverage, good press coverage by them, and I think they did a nice job. The corners did a nice job. All those things enter into this. So you really have to watch the film to say, okay, we couldn't do this and this was the reason, or you couldn't do that and this is the reason. But I thought he continued to compete. He did make some throws, did do some things, but every time it just sort of ended up empty. As we got down the field and crossed the 50, something would happen and set us back, whether it be a holding call, whether it be something or or a pick or something of that nature. But we just couldn't get over the hump, and that was frustrating, I'm sure, for everybody.
Mark, you you talked about leadership, learning about your leadership, and not having Riley out there. Could that have helped you? A lot of times, especially those third down situations when they need to kind of get off the field there, and you're
Well,
missing
you
a
know,
little bit
I thought Shane Jones played pretty well. I mean, we played pretty well against the run. Some of their running yards came, you know, in third down, you know, in 2-minute situations before the half. But I thought we played pretty well in that area. And Riley's playing linebacker, so I think the situation a little bit more with we didn't have the corner route covered, the 7 route, as I would call it, covered effectively enough. I mean, the guy put it in there. We had him on. We were on him a number of times, right on him. Knew that they were going to run it, but he put it on the money. So, but I think Riley from the sideline did a great job. But you know, those are the things that you have to deal with. You know, that's all a part of this. You know, you got to deal with. You know, we've overcome when other players have not played. You know, we still win. So that's certainly not an excuse.
Mark, you're always looking for challenges. There frankly haven't been a lot of days like this around here, even in the last 10 years. What kind of challenge is it now to dig them out of this hole?
Well, it's never as bad as you think it is, and it's never as good. I think that's the nature of things. You know, if you look back out there, if we hold on to the football and all of a sudden we go down and score, it's 13-all. Maybe the game changes. But it sort of is what it is. I don't think that the game flip-flopped that drastically because of our abilities. I think we made mistakes, and they forced us into mistakes, and they should be congratulated for that. But, you know, the mistakes were made, and, you know, you can't overcome those type of mistakes. Some of it, you know, you've got to get the snap down, and, you know, he's been very good snapping the football, so there's no reason to believe that he will not be, but things happen.
Mark, you mentioned you lose a lot of leadership with Riley Bola out, but what did you see out of Shane Jones and Byron in his stead?
I thought Shane played pretty well. Again, I thought we stopped the run effectively. We got him into third and long yardage numerous times, and we either stopped him or you know, they hit one. But I thought Shane played pretty well. But again, you got to watch the film really to really see. But I thought he played solid.
Mark, last week, 260 yards rushing against Notre Dame, 75 today. Mm-hmm. What did Wisconsin do that Notre Dame could not?
Well, I wouldn't even bring up the Notre Dame situation. I would say more or less that Wisconsin played good fundamental football. Said that coming into the football game. Talked about that all week, how they got both hands on you up front. They know what they're doing, and they do it very, very well. They have a system, and they do it very well. You know, they led the nation in certain defensive categories last year. We're up in the top 5, but they have a system that played, and they played it. I thought their corners played very well. You know, I thought their whole secondary probably played pretty well. But again, you got to go watch the film. But that's what they did. You know, I think they have a good football team.
Mark, at any point, did you consider making a change at quarterback? And as you evaluate next week, does that become an open competition, or is Tyler, in your mind, still firmly in front of those guys?
No, I don't think that all of a sudden we say, because these things happen, that we go against that. I did think it was important that we see Lewerke play. I thought that we need to get him in there and just watch him get his feet on the ground a little bit. So we wanted to do that. You know, did not play Damian, but he was a little banged up, so we didn't play him because of that.
Mark, the defensive front for you guys, you talked a little bit about the ability to stop the run. What kind of things do you need to see with getting more pass pressure? And from your vantage point, you used both of the defensive ends there at the end of the game, the young kids, and Lacusa on the offensive side. Why was the decision to make to this game the red shirt for those guys?
I think we need to play those guys. We wanted to play them earlier, sort of force the issue at the end and say, hey, let's play them. You got to get ready to play. Let's play them. Until you cross over that line and start to play them, you're always going to be hesitant to play them. But I think that they're good players, and I think that they're going to only improve with game experience, and we need to play those guys. That's, you know, with our situation being because we brought a couple graduate transfers in here, you're going to lose those guys. You know, you're going to lose Evan Jones. You're going to lose some players. We need to have guys with game experience coming back, and they're outstanding athletes. They're big and they're physical. They just need game experience. They need to get their feet on the ground. So wish we could have played them earlier, but the way the game was going, it was sort of, you know, There was a lot of, fumble for a touchdown. There were a lot of very quick defensive series, where all of a sudden our offense is right back out on the field. So probably didn't get as many plays as we really wanted to with those guys. But we took a step and crossed the line, so now I think that at least the idea of, okay, let's play them is off the table. We're going to play them.
Mark, I got to ask you a little bit, not so much in the game. There were 3 players that held their fists up during the national anthem. I don't know if you knew about that or if that was anything you wanted to comment on.
No, I've said all along and talked to our players. To me, and we've talked about this 3 or 4 weeks ago, your patriotism, your faith are sort of the same. That's your choice, and it's influenced by what you've experienced in this world. And so whether somebody salutes, puts the hand over their heart, or does something else, everybody has a choice to make. And we're in college, our young people are in college, and I can promise you one thing, that when the flag is presented in some respect, I guess it becomes much more important now. It's not just, oh, by the way, we'll just stand for the Star-Spangled Banner. I guess they have decisions that people have to make, and as long as it's done in a peaceful way, this is America. And that's what the flag stands for. It stands for the freedom to do what you need to do. And that's the beautiful thing about this country. At some point in time, when the true enemy comes, I guess we'll all stand together. But I can't make assumptions for our players for what they've gone through in their lives. All I can do is try and lead in the best way I can and be positive and accepting to our football team and our players. And when we come together after the national anthem, we come together with solidarity. And I think that's what's important.
Coach, final note on the quarterback. You got to look at Lewerke. You left O'Connor in there. It just seemed like it wasn't his day. Was there ever a thought of pulling him sooner, just from a mental standpoint?
I don't know. Things were going pretty fast. 7 minutes to go with it. When we're down there and we're going to get ready I told him, hey, we're going to kick a field goal, an onside kick. We're 3 scores away. Hey, we were up 36-7 last week. Same situation. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, and all of a sudden, the complexion of the football game completely changed. So, that's what we were banking on. If we kick a field goal, we're down by 21. Don't throw the pick. Try and get the first down. If we get the first down, try and go in. Do we go for 2? Probably. And try and get it to a 2-score game, those type of things. So we were just thinking positively at that point. But I don't think you abandon somebody when they're having a tough day. I didn't want to do that. This hasn't become a quarterback race. That hasn't become the issue. So we'll play through the pain here a little bit and see what happens. Good, guys? Thank you.